Tail of the tape now for Andre Berto against Freddy Hernandez, and you'll see Berto is 4 years younger, an inch and a half shorter. Berto is not the tallest of the welterweight stars. He'll look up to most of the other guys in that division. Arm length advantage of 2.5 inches for the Mexico City fighter. Berto weighed in 2 pounds under the 147-pound limit, interestingly, because he fought most of his amateur career at 151 or 152. Hernandez was right on the 147 mark, and tonight Berto will have a 6-pound weight advantage in the ring. He's gone all the way up to 159 overnight, as opposed to only 6 pounds of hydration for Hernandez. Now, Freddy Hernandez has been described in pre-fight publicity and media reports as a journeyman, but he actually has some recognizable names on his list of opponents. DeMarcus Corley's been a gatekeeper for a lot of star guys. I told you earlier, he wobbled both Floyd Mayweather and Miguel Cotto. He's the one who was knocked for a loop by Hernandez. That was a 5th-round knockout for Freddy. And then in his most recent fight against Mike and Chando, you're going to see he lands the right cross to wobble Chando. And Chando even slower than Hernandez, and the stoppage creates another TKO 5.
What interests me, Jim, as we will see him coming to the ring, do you mind if I go back in time and just call him the Lollipop Kid?
Here's the lollipop.
And it's a red one. I don't know if that's cherry or strawberry. He sucks on a lollipop before every fight, and that makes him interesting to me if he can't fight at all.
At the end of the day, the big deficit, Emmanuel, is speed, and Berto expects to beat most of his opponents because of his vibrant, high-energy, fast-handed style.
Well, that's, you know, and the people that's involved with Freddy Hernandez are dependent on Hernandez to be able to hurt Berto. They know that he can't compete with Berto with speed, and the fact that Berto has had a reputation as an amateur and as a professional, both of them not having the best chin in the benches. So Hernandez's people are strictly entirely dependent on Hernandez being able to hurt.
And if you wonder if Andre Berto has shown a professional chin as a professional, that's one of the things that ringside media types point out. He hasn't really fought a puncher who can test it so far. Now, when Andre Berto passed up his chance at fighting Shane Mosley because of the tragedy that befell his family in the hurricane in Haiti, he came back in April, Larry, and fought Carlos Quintana in Fort Lauderdale, and this was a highly creditable performance.
It was against a fighter who can't punch, which is why he was in there, but he gave a good account of himself.
Quintana was a guy who beat Paul Williams the first time around before Williams came back and knocked him out in the first round the second time around. Andre still has his head up, but he knows the criticism to which he's being subjected by ringside media.
And give him some credit in this regard too. He's a really bright young man, and he gets the big picture. He himself has said that if it was his call, he would fight Mosley first, then Cotto, and then Pacquiao. I think he understands he's not ready in terms of the public to take on Pacquiao.
He actually has said that he would like to fight those 3 fighters, Mosley, Cotto, and Pacquiao, all in 2011. Probably he won't have that busy a year.
Yeah, but he's right in the mix of everything. The fact that he's physically not a real tall welterweight also may make him more compatible with a lot of these guys may be interested in fighting as compared to welterweights like years back, like Tommy Hearn, 6'1", 6'2". So I think that's a factor too, because Pacquiao refused at one time to fight Yuri Foreman because he said Foreman was just too tall for him.
One element to watch in this fight, Berto's best power punch is his uppercut, and because of Hernandez's height and the fact that he comes forward, there's a decent chance they'll meet up. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, the action continues as DeBella Entertainment and Gary Shaw Promotions proudly present a co-featured bout of the evening, a world title contest sponsored by Tecate Cerveza con Carácter and DeWalt Tools Guaranteed Tough. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring will be Dick Houck, Patricia Morse-Jarman and David Sutherland. And inside the ring, in charge of the action, referee Russell Mora. And now, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue, officially weighing 147 pounds. His professional record, 29 victories, including 20 knockouts, with only one defeat. From Linwood, California, the WBC number 10 ranked welterweight in the world, the challenger, Freddy El Riel Hernandez. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with yellow, official weight, 145 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 26 fights, 26 victories, including 20 knockouts. From Winter Haven, Florida, representing IET, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC welterweight champion of the world, Andre Berto.
Centering. Belt line here is good. Belt line here is good. Anything below this is a foul. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you that I expect a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Acuérdense, quiero una pelea limpia. Dios los bendiga. God bless. Touch up.
Freddy Hernandez is a mere 9-1 underdog, Jim. We're here with a few of our best friends on this Thanksgiving weekend. And perhaps they'll get as excited in this fight as they did in the last one.
Rest assured, when the main event comes along, the Marquez fans will make enough noise to let us know that they are here. Round one of schedule 12. Berto in the black with gold. There you see the hand speed as he launches the left-right combination against Hernandez. For his part, Freddy Hernandez was happy to get this opportunity and said, hey, it's never bad when you get a chance to fight a guy who's shorter and has shorter arms, and that helps me.
He has boxing skills. He's got a good sense of where he is in the ring, but he is slow, much slower.
Emmanuel, Berto sets up in a very square-shouldered defense. Is he more open from the outset than most fighters would be?
Well, that's the way he fights. He likes to try to slip in and explode. But I like what's happening with Hernandez, not to get away from the question. He's keeping space. He's creating the distance. Instead of falling in when Berto comes in, where he makes Berto be in a position to explode, you notice most of the time he tries to step back, create to keep that same little space, whereas Berto trying to reach.
Hernandez has watched enough tape of Andre Berto to be aware that he doesn't want to fall onto a Berto uppercut. So he'll try to stand straight up, keep that chin behind his front knee, and the formula that Emmanuel Stewart has taught to heavyweight champions Lennox Lewis and Evan. Down goes Hernandez on a perfect right cross.
And he is hurt badly.
Very hard shot, perfect right cross, and Russell Moore's going to wave it off. Hey, you looking for an impressive Andre Berto victory?
I have to tell you something, Jim. When a victory comes that easily, I'm sorry. That ain't him. That's the other guy.
It's a beautiful right hand. Even with the guy having his defense up still, he figured out where the guy's hand position was and shot the right hand, I think, right around the side. Good knockout.
Well, Larry, you may not be impressed, but I imagine promoter Lou DiBella will have plenty to talk about.
If he stopped crying about the first fight.
We all know Lou very well. Tony Morgan celebrating his fighter's knockout. And there's the happy Lou DiBella, the bald head leaning in from the right side. And let's take another look at how Andre set up the perfect right cross, Emmanuel.
It was fantastic because the guy's hand was up. He just had so much power, it went straight through the gloves, virtually, just came right around the side. But just the fact that he knew he was going to have his hands up, and he still shot the punch with so much speed and power, the guy never saw it because he thought he was comfortable protecting himself with his hands up.
Berto not seeming surprised as he watched Hernandez go down in sections.
Yeah, that's amazing. The guy had his hands up, but it was too close.
Great shot.
Fantastic.
You cannot throw the punch any more accurately than that.
No. It's very seldom I've ever saw anybody in my life get hit with a punch that much power when they had their hands and their guard up, doing everything proper.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the particular details of the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, following the knockdown, referee Russell Mora calls a halt to the bout. The official time is 2 minutes, 7 seconds of the very first round. The winner by TKO victory, still undefeated and still the WBC welterweight champion of the world, Andre Berto.
Well, Freddy Hernandez was 29-1 coming in, but obviously hadn't previously tasted a right hand as sharp and as powerful as that of Andre Berto. There are the final CompuBox numbers on the fight. Of the 9 punches Berto landed, 1 really mattered. And Larry stands by now with welterweight belt holder Andre Berto.
Thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Andre. It doesn't look like you've worked up much of a sweat there.
Yeah, man. You know, you was giving me a lot of hassle in the meeting, so I had to come out here and put on a performance. You know, first off, I want to thank God definitely for this victory. My Lord and Savior. Shout out to Everlast and Champ Sports, and you know, IET. We here, baby.
All right. Thank you. Obviously, you were trying to set that punch up from what you have seen of him in the past. We're going to try to show you that, and would you describe what you were seeing and what happened with the opening?
I was just throwing a jab. See, I can hit him with a jab a couple times. So, you know, I just jabbed him to the stomach and came right back up that right hand. He was leaving his left hand down a little bit, and I just came over top and hit him right on the chin. So it was a jab to the body, I think. And I know it was a hook action, and I just came right over because he was pulling straight back.
You have said that even though you were listed on the short list of potential opponents for Pacquiao, that you thought you would like to fight in order Mosley and Cotto before you fought Pacquiao. Do you still feel that way?
I mean, right now, right to this point, it doesn't matter at all. I already ate all my appetizers, so I'm ready for the main courses of the division now. You know, Shane Mosley, we still have some unfinished business if he wants it. Miguel Cotto, you know, definitely Manny Pacquiao. I think you know, that'll definitely be, you know, the best fight out there for him. He needs somebody with speed. He needs somebody young. He needs somebody strong. And you know, we're gonna see what happens.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Jim?
All right, so Andre Berto states his case for the Pacquiao fight with a first-round knockout of Freddy Hernandez.